What's up, everybody? Welcome to H.U.M.A.N, Humanity's United Martial Arts Network. Joined by Marcus Koval. How you doing today?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Good. 2 days in a row. We're killing
Yes.
it. And we got, I'm super excited. Super excited for our guest today. Michelle Waterson, the Karate Hottie. Thank you so much for coming in. How are you guys doing? Here joined by Josh Gomez, her husband. And I got a lot of questions for you guys because I know that you guys train together. Yes. The last time you guys were here, you were telling me some, and I don't want to give any of the secrets away, but you were telling me some of the training that you guys were doing together to prepare for, I believe, Felice. And it sounds brutal. It sounds brutal. You are a brave man, Josh. I don't know.
Feel good, yeah.
I have to ask you. So I work to get knockout.
Take down.
There you go.
Me and my wife Michelle work together, and I always say there's very few couples that can work together because it can be difficult, and especially when it comes to fighting where you have to critique a lot, right? How's that?
It's tough.
It's
man,
a
just
learning
like you said,
curve.
yeah.
It is a learning curve, but he's been in my corner for a while now. I want to say probably like 7 years.
Yeah.
6 or maybe longer, 8.
Even before, since Araya for sure.
Since Array, so close to 8 years, and we still fight.
Yeah, you bump heads every now and then, right? Because the emotions get involved.
Of course.
Right, and the husband and wife thing kicks in, and it's like, wait, don't tell me what to do. Well, hold on, you got to fix this, or it's the other way around, right? So
He'll always yell at me and say, "If you weren't my wife, I'd be making you run laps right now."
See, I can't train with my wife. With Marie, like she'll just say no. Like if I tell her, I'll be like, all right, 10 kicks. She'll be like, no, I'm not doing it. And Josh, how do you think you got the eye for that? Like, what is your background in fighting?
It was just boxing, really. So I grew up.
How many
I did a
fights
little
did
bit
you
of karate as an amateur. As an amateur, I had, as far as in my book, I had about 90-something fights in my book. Yeah,
That's legit.
yeah.
And he boxed for the Air Force.
and I boxed for
And
the
you
Air
were
Force.
Golden Gloves.
Well, I did Golden Gloves. I did. I was ranked. I would go from 5th and 4th in the nation at the time here in the U.S.
I saw. Yeah, that's good.
And so it was good. And then the division I was in was always stacked, right? The 141, 152,
Yes,
154.
that's what I thought too,
I don't know
yeah.
what they have it at now. What did you fight at?
141 and then up to
141.
152. Yeah.
Yeah, and so those divisions were always stacked.
Yeah.
Always stacked. But that was it. But I think I was always a big student of the game, so I would study like just certain movements.
Kodo.
Well, yeah, but just even certain movements, and you pick that up in any sport, right? You'll tend to see certain tendencies where you say, okay, this person's getting ready to do this, and so you start to just kind of know what the body's about to do, or what they're trying to do, you know.
Do you understand MMA now too? Do you train yourself like when it comes to kicks, takedowns, the ground?
I'm starting to do some jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
starting
doing
to do
the jiu-jitsu, and I remember one time I
guys are
kept
loving it 'cause
telling
you're
him,
just
I said, babe, boxing's different than MMA, okay? You can't do the things you do in boxing that you do in MMA. And he's like, yes, like trying to explain to me like you just have to understand what you're doing. And I was like, put the shin guards on, let's spar.
Yeah.
I was super emotional.
Do you spar?
Yeah, I'll spar. Well, I let her whoop me. I will explain that a little bit here in a bit.
But we were sparring, and I was killing his legs because I just wanted to show him, like, and obviously he's bigger than me, so he doesn't know how to check kicks, but he's just laughing.
I know how to check kicks. If I do it, I'm gonna break her leg, right? Because I'm much bigger.
He's gonna break my leg.
So I don't want to do that, you know.
Have you ever sparred with Marie?
Marie, no.
He was laughing as I was kicking him, and it was pissing me off even more.
But here's what I was telling her too. I told her this after. I was like, "Babe, you gotta understand. I'm laughing because it hurts. I'm not laughing because I'm laughing at you. This hurts." Yeah, you know. And so, but no, she was so mad. She was even, I think maybe tears
Crying.
were coming out where she was just bam, and I'm just.
I
Like,
was crying. I was crying.
It was rough. It was a good one.
And you and your wife?
No, like, so she's just training now. Michelle, I'm gonna do this to her. She wants to do a fight. She's like, you don't tell anyone. So, but it's official
I just
now.
told the whole world.
Best way of being held accountable.
Yeah.
So she's very, especially because from watching all our guys fight and starting to understand it, and like she's not one of those that sits and like, oh, you should do this, should do that, but she listens and she's intelligent. So she's at home and she's like, how do you transfer weight in order to get power in that punch? And she will throw punches and kicks at me, but we haven't sparred yet. But I'm just getting ready for a fight. We will be.
Oh, so
Well, here's what I do But it's dangerous. Now, is your wife a lot smaller than you or no?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So see, I think you'd be okay with it, but then you still got to look at it from the outside, right? Because so with Michelle, I think we still need to work on a little bit more on the boxing side, like sitting down on punches, or in between that transition of now they're in that punching range. What is it, right? Are we gonna punch or are we gonna go for the takedown? I think that's very important to know. Okay, what am I gonna do as opposed to, oh shoot, what do I do now, right?
Yeah.
So with her, I let her just tee off. Go to town. I want you to feel it in your knuckle. I want you to feel the skull. Like, go to town. Now I'm blocking or whatever.
Right.
But still, I think it's important for her to feel that. You know?
I agree. There's something about boxing. Like, I started Taekwondo, then Muay Thai, and I competed in Muay Thai. But then when I started training at a boxing gym, my understanding of range and defense and angles just right away through the roof. And it could have been the coach, it could have been the gym that I was training at. But I do feel like there's something about boxing that just, it's the sweet science. And it really does, like the footwork, the creating of the angles. I don't know. That was big for me.
I agree with you. If you look at, I hate when boxers are being ignorant about MMA fighting, but just likewise the other way around, when MMA fighters are ignorant about boxing. And there's been a couple of times we've seen MMA fighters going to box. It's like, oh, it's going to be so much easier. All I have to worry about is just the hands. And then when you hear those punches, it's just like, it's a different level of power.
Yeah, and endurance too, I would say,
Yes,
right? Because I think
course.
that's what Conor ran into when he was fighting Mayweather. His endurance, he thought he could. His arms were probably so taxed, probably halfway through.
Anyone that I've talked to that has competed in both MMA, kickboxing, and boxing, they've all said that boxing was the most physically taxing.
Really?
Yeah.
I think. Well, Holly's told me different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Holly said that. I mean,
Well, she said the work, which makes a ton of sense because you guys got to work everything out, right? She
Yeah.
said that the workouts, because
Right.
it's everything, right? It's jiu-jitsu, it's, Muay Thai, kickboxing,
Wrestling.
boxing,
Everything.
Yeah.
everything.
she said that MMA is harder, but boxing is like strategically harder because it's like a longer haul and you have to be more strategic about it, and the rounds go by so fast because it's 12
Right.
2 or 3 minute rounds versus 5 or 3 5-minute rounds.
Yeah, it's just the pace, I guess, is completely different.
And also, I think stamina-wise, just from the wrestling part, I want to give credit to all the wrestlers out there. Stamina-wise, I think MMA is more like you can, if the better you get, I don't know about you, Josh, but when it comes to boxing, the better you get, when you can cruise, when you can take a step back. I'm going to cruise this round, right? Versus, but the pain level, I'd say, boxing, just because in MMA you can keep a longer distance, you can either go for the takedown or at least threaten the takedown where you can't sit down on the punches, so the power is a little bit.
Yeah.
I disagree there.
Oh.
I thought that leg kicks, like not having leg kicks in a fight, was like that made boxing easy or less painful. At least.
Oh, here we go.
But
Oh,
you do
yeah.
have like an easy escape. Connor against Nate, the first fight, like he was losing, and I think he shot that takedown knowing that he could just get choked out.
That was
Oh,
the
you
biggest-
think he put
you
him
just say that-
purposefully?
Do you not?
I don't think
Shane
that one,
Faison just said that Conor McGregor
Wait,
gave up.
sold out.
Connor.
Conor.
What do you have to say? Well, we talk about this all the time too, because this is why
This is
why
one of
I
our
love
biggest arguments before.
This is why I love MMA, because you have options. Like in MMA, you have options. If you're in trouble with the stand-up, you can use your other tools to get away from that situation. Take them down, take them to the cage. You can use the cage actually as a weapon. You can take them to the ground. You could do jiu-jitsu. In boxing, if you're in trouble, you're in trouble. Like, you can't get out of that trouble.
The clinch is broken up in a couple of seconds in boxing, but the clinch can last for minutes in MMA.
Yeah, that's one of the things I would always tell Michelle, and she just stole my little thunder right there.
Oh.
But that's what I would say. Like in boxing, there is no way out. You either quit or you get beat up. Like that's it. Now in MMA, I still it's really tough. I got to emphasize that, right? But there's ways to. I've seen some people. I don't think McGregor did it, but I have seen some people where they're getting beat up, and like you kind of feel like they just gave that up. Like they're done. They had enough.
Yeah, turned and give their back or
Yeah.
something like that.
Choke
But
me out. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, like
I'm
that's
done.
it.
man, when you're in there though, it's like it's just you and the other person. So, and there's so many things going on all at once.
Yeah, all combat sports, no matter
Yeah.
what, they're tough, no matter what.
So what's next for you, Michelle? Mom chant.
Mom
I
chant.
already see it. I
Yeah.
already like it's in my mind. It's already happened.
Yeah.
You already have the belt around your waist.
Thank you.
What'd
That's
you
what
say?
we want.
Mom champ?
Mom,
Mom
chant.
chant.
You got to explain the mom chant. Hashtag mom chant.
So, I've been on this fighting journey for I've been fighting professionally for over 12 years now.
Oh wow.
And just, you know, really sitting down and thinking about what I want to do to cement my legacy as a fighter. And the UFC has yet to have a mother as a champion.
Oh, okay.
So I want to be the UFC's first mother champion.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's really cool. But as a husband, like talking about Pat, you know, imagine being the husband, seeing bros getting lifted, slammed on the neck like that.
Yeah,
Do you get nervous?